Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your movie apprentice, and today I'll be continuing my journey down the repertoire of Studio Ghibli with 1988's Grave of the Fireflies. Before I get into that, if you are new on this channel, then please feel free to click that like button and subscribe to the channel for more reviews, rankings, podcasts, all the good stuff. And without further ado, let's get into this review. So this film follows a brother and sister, Seita and Setsuko, who are trying to survive on their own in Japan during the tail end of World War II. And yeah, this was... I knew it was sad, but damn, I was not expecting to be hit as heavy as this film did hit me. And yeah, this is one of those films that you have to go in with a certain mindset. I'd very much lump it in there with films like Schindler's List, Green Mile, Silence, even Detroit. These are films that are great, but they need some level state of mind to go into it. If you go into it sad, then don't blame me if you're breaking down by the end of it. But what I do like about this is the simplistic story. This is a very small cast in comparison to Castle in the Sky. The art style is a lot more rough, a lot more grainy, but it fits the tone of this movie. It is simply a brother and sister trying to survive, and the film makes sure that you never feel too optimistic going through this film. There are little moments of sweetness, there's little moments of just heartwarming moments, little moments of innocence, but they are few and far between. In this 90-minute film, you are probably feeling optimistic for maybe 10 minutes, because the vast majority of this is a grim tale. The brother and sister dynamic is by far what holds this film together. Seita is trying his hardest to put a smile on his little sister's face. Every time she is sad about one thing or another, he'll be making her promises. He'll be trying to do stuff that makes her laugh. He'll be trying to show her the beauty of the world. Whilst the film is quite grainy and quite rough in its animation style, given the bleak tone, there is a certain moment involving, ironically, fireflies, which is probably one of the most beautiful scenes I've seen in any anime that I've seen, let alone a Studio Ghibli or anime film. Just the way these fireflies are glowing on their faces for this one particular scene. It's the sweetest moment. It's probably the last time I feel happy watching this film. There are not many characters in this. On the cast list, there's only 4 credited cast members: the brother, the sister, their aunt, and their mother. And the aunt, for one, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a huge fan of her character, though it's only afterwards where I'm thinking, okay, I can kind of see where they're coming from. And there is a flaw I have with this film, fortunately, which is the runtime. This is only 90 minutes long. They jump through time quite a bit in this. They start off slow at the start, then there's a few mini time jumps, and the aunt becomes more restless with the brother and sister for reasons that I will not delve into. They did seem to come out of nowhere, and unfortunately that made me really dislike this character, though I feel like that was the point. It just felt kind of out of nowhere the resentfulness came in. And the saddest thing about this is that things that happen are needless overall. They are things that didn't need to happen. Resources were there were escape roads, but it was a sense of pride that prevented these roads from being explored. I also enjoy the narrative style. The start of this takes place after the events that take up the majority of this film. So you know you're in for a rough ride from the get-go, and I do appreciate they sort of give you that warning that this is not going to be the happiest of tales. But even so, it is a very nice narrative piece. I do love the art style and the colours that contrasted the present and what we're experiencing in this moment. And without going into the overall spoilers of that little element, I just really enjoyed how they would occasionally cross paths, and it was very much an enjoyable element of this film. Before I get into my grade, if you are new on this channel, please consider clicking that like button and subscribing for more content coming all the time as I continue my journey through every Studio Ghibli film, and let me know what your favourite is down in the comments below. But overall, this film, I went into it knowing that I was in for a rough ride, but it was more of a rough ride than I expected. I did feel a little empty afterwards. Didn't quite break down, but it just left me with that numb feeling that I probably haven't felt since I saw Martin Scorsese's Silence, which is another 3-hour film, which is just constant grimness. The brother and sister dynamic is by far what holds it together. It's very cute. The art style is rough, keeps that tone emphasized, but the Firefly moments are some of the most beautifully animated films I've seen in any form of anime, though I wasn't a big fan of a certain character that I felt that was definitely intended. I do wish there was a bit more time added into this to fill in some of these time skips, because it does get a bit jarring at times. This was a heavier watch. I would definitely recommend this film, but I would only recommend you watch it if you're in a nice frame of mind or an objective frame of mind. If you're already feeling down, this ain't a film to bring you out of a slump. And if you're feeling on top of the world, I wouldn't watch it because it will just drag you right down. Overall, Grave of the Fireflies, I'm going to have to say, because I have a few more flaws with it than I did with Castle in the Sky, I'm going to have to say that this is a film that just needs a bit more sugar. So, Grave of the Fireflies, have you seen it? Let me know your memories of this film down in the comments below. Coming up next on the channel this Sunday is another Why I Love Movies episode, where I'll be looking at the 80s classic that I always rave about on my Twitter, The Breakfast Club. And next week, I aim to get at least 2 more of these Studio Ghibli films out, as well as a requested review by a good friend of mine, so keep an eye out for those, and make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss those. But until then, stay safe, continue enjoying movies, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, thank you for watching, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. While you are here, if you haven't done it yet, please feel free to drop a like and consider hitting that subscribe button for more views coming all the time. And also, while you are here, there are some other videos over there that you might want to sink your teeth into. Have a good day, guys, and do enjoy.